Star Wars Republic Commando is a squad-based first-person shooter that released in 2005 and is considered to be one of, if not the best, Star Wars games. Not for me, though. For me, it was only something I had recently heard of thanks to me not being super familiar with the Star Wars IP. I've only seen the first 7 movies, and I haven't really touched anything besides it, both before and after that time. On top of this, I had not played a ton of games from anyone besides Nintendo, with a couple exceptions, those being things like Halo, Half-Life, Unturned, etc. But, after purchasing COD 4 and Modern Warfare 2, I realized how much I was locked into my comfort zone, so I've started a new initiative. From here on out, I'm going to try to play as many games as I can, the majority being titles I haven't played before. Note that there will be spoilers as I'm going to explain the main plot of this game. In return though, I'll also share some funny moments I had during my playthrough. Hoorah! Lock and load, Commandos. The game opens with a first-person cutscene as we see the early life of our Commando, Delta 1138, the soon-to-be leader of an elite group of soldiers that specialize in things like demolition, hacking, and being able to use a wide variety of both ally and enemy weapons. Basically the in-game lore reason behind you and your team being killing machines similar to the Doomslayer, the Master Chief, and whatnot. After this neat intro, we're then dropped into a raging battle on Geonosis, separate from our squad, in order to kill a target named Sun Fa. Watching some clones be killed by Geonosians and learning how to heal, I meet up with my squad mates one at a time, starting with Delta 62, known as Scorch, then Delta 40, known as Fixer, and finally Delta 07, or Sev. These 3 will be with me for the majority of the game outside of a couple times where you're scripted to be on your own. More on that later. This also means that when me or any of my allies go down, they can be revived by anyone within the squad. This makes the game quite a bit easier, but I was still getting knocked out a lot, even on medium difficulty. Something I will note right now is, this is mainly because I was unfamiliar with the game. I played COD on Veteran, played Halo on Legendary. I know how to play FPSs. It was just learning this game. Anyways, I found Sun, and despite my best efforts, he got away into his ship, only for it to be blown to bits. Probably shouldn't have hired Boeing to build that ship, honestly. We then move into Mission 2, where Delta's ordered to move into a droid production facility in order to blow it all up. I found the sniper rifle attachment here, which honestly reminds me of the light rifle used in both Halo 4 and 5, albeit way cooler looking. This is also where Geonosian elites are introduced, which immediately sent my ass into a fit of rage because I wasn't using the sniper like I should have been. Luckily, a quick Google search, yes, I Googled this shit, told me this information, and after that, they weren't too much of a problem to handle. Hi, sorry, editing-retro here, in real life retro if you couldn't tell. So for some reason, when I was recording this, I said that I wasn't using the sniper rifle when it's very clearly showing in the footage that I was using the sniper rifle. I did Google how to use the sniper rifle properly because the way that hit detection works in this game is kind of weird, but nonetheless, yeah, that information's not true. I was in fact using the sniper rifle. I'm sorry. Another side note, during this mission, I turned off the helmet HUD, so that's why the HUD looks different and, in my opinion, much better looking. It's not that I don't like the helmet HUD, it's just this is a lot more digestible and easier to use. On our way, we find a radio, or what the fuck is that?
Yeah. Are you high right now?
On our way, we find a radio jammer, so naturally we play some C4 on it. One destroyed jammer later, and we're finally getting into the actual factory. Mission 3 starts with a breach and a small scuffle with some droids, followed by another breach into a computer room. Slicing the console opens the next door, but it also frees 2 super droids. As you can probably tell, I wasn't prepared at all for this ambush, and worse yet, I had no ammo and was stuck using my pistol. And while it never runs out, the damage was pitiful, and after a couple shots it needs to charge back up. All 3 of these factors resulted in me dying and needing to go back to my save. Lovely. This time though, I was better prepared and ran across the room to grab a pile of rifle ammo once the shield barriers were down. Also, for the 2 people commenting about how I could have used grenades, this was the point where I started to use them more, but I'll get into that a little bit later, about the grenade types and whatnot. Moving into the next area, we encountered a 3rd super droid that for some stupid reason, I can't remember off the top of my head, I regressed from the previous encounter and just used my pistol and 2 grenades rather than my fully loaded rifle. This absolute blunder is made even more apparent when after moving into the next room full of standard droids and bugs, I switched back to my rifle. I don't understand my logic, okay? Picking up an elite beam weapon alongside some more rifle ammo, the Commandos charge into the first production power conduit and blow it up, followed up by Fixer rather idiotically throwing an EMP right at a wall, only to find out that grenades do in fact bounce back. With this legendary screw-up never being lived down, the Commando then redeems himself by staring daggers at the super droid while the rest of us mow it down. If you couldn't tell, this game was released in 2005. Fortunately for Fixer, I make the same mistake 2 minutes later, so hey, at least he's not alone in stupidity. Making our way to the second power conduit with the help of Scorch, the charge is set, and it is blown sky high just like the first. Factory go boom. Now that the factory is destroyed, Delta is given new orders. They are to be dropped behind enemy lines to retrieve launch codes on a downed ship. Mission 4 puts us back into the canyons and we find one of our own downed ships with some crew still alive. For 2 seconds. And then they get killed by bugs. I get there's like a ton of clones, but like it's still garbage that most of the ones we come across just die for nothing. Reminds me a lot of how the Spartan 3s were used. Just drop hundreds of them into a single area on suicide missions. We continue pushing forward through dozens of bugs and droids, murdering all of them in order to further spread democracy, doing our part for Super Earth. Wait, wrong game. Along the way, we find an anti-aircraft bunker, and since there isn't any other path forward, we head inside. We locate the turret controls, destroy them, and then make our escape through the back and out into the canyon once more. Something happened during this section that I genuinely can't explain. At some point, Fixer went down and seemingly clipped through the floor, so no matter what we did, we couldn't, like, revive him. And unlike most modern squad-based shooters, your allies don't, like, die or respawn after a specific period of time. Something like, I don't know, Halo 5. So I was just stuck hearing my team constantly saying, we need to revive them, we need to go find Fixer. This is the only actual bug that happened during my entire playthrough, but it is still something that I needed to know. We finally find the core ship, but as we prepare to go in, a huge mechanaloid moves into the area we are in. Holy fuck, I just cannot speak today, can I? This is a spider droid, a sort of boss fight that you face every 2 to 3 missions, and holy hell, these guys are tanks. Trying to kill them isn't difficult, it's just very time consuming, due to the only weak spot being the glowing light on its belly. Dispatching the huge thing, we can now enter the ship to start the final mission on Geonosis. Remember when I said at certain points you would be separated from your squad? Well, this is the first time that actually happens, as you all have to split up and use the lifts on the ship. This means that you need to rely more on quick saves if you are an unskilled shooter. Take a wild guess as to who I may be referring to. Hearing an alarm go off, it seems blowing up part of the ship most likely alerted the bugs to our presence, so the obvious response is to start mercilessly killing everything in sight. It's also decided that we'll start blowing up more stuff because, hey, we already massacred these droids and bugs, so let's just add salt to the wound and start damaging their property too. Rendezvousing with the rest of the squad and finding another spider droid, we then get to the bridge and storm it. This section had a ton of enemies, and because I didn't feel like playing smart, I had one of the team download the codes while the other 3 of us became distractions or meat shields. Somehow being graced by the RNG gods, this strategy worked on my second try. We made our escape, concluding the missions on Geonosis. Because of the successful mission on Geonosis, Delta spends the next year going on more and more dangerous missions. We pick back up with them 367 days later, no, this is not a joke, when they are ordered to search a Republic ship that has reappeared out of nowhere. The ship was lost months prior, and since Delta was the best of the best, they just figured, yeah, they can handle it. Obviously, at this point, we're also going to be separated from our squad because we have to split up and look for clues, gang, for much longer. Fuck. When we arrive, the comms channel almost immediately gets shut down, something interfering with it. Worse yet, it seems parasitic creatures roam the place. It's unlikely anyone's even here at this point. As we proceed further, Scorch is heard talking about some kind of interference, not with the radios, but with his visor. Cuts out for a moment, and then he's heard screaming.
Static getting stronger this time. Can hardly see. Wait, what the?
6-2. Delta 6-2, can you hear me? Report.
Get off me, you throwing bag of bolts!
6-2.
his signal goes dead. It's unsure what happened to him. Up ahead, we stumble onto a clone. Seems someone is actually alive.
And alert the Republic. But you're here now, so no need for that, eh?
Look
Thanks
out!
for the rescue.
What a waste.
Oh. I was very nervous about what was going to happen next, possibly thinking this was going to be a horror section. And then this happened. Yeah.
Tried to drill my head. Deltas, I think I just found out what happened to
Command,
6-2.
we might need
Some kind of
Damn,
energy
okay.
device. Keep your eyes out
Okay.
for static. Fix it.
Damn. Okay, so I wasn't expecting that. So they're like drones or whatever.
Finding out that the things attacking everyone were just drones was kind of disappointing, but at least the sense of dread was gone, knowing that this was just a Ukraine's average Tuesday. Reaching out to our squad, Sev decides, hey, why don't you just slice open the controls, go through the ventilation system. That'll get you faster. I go to do this and get jumped by more drones and sent back to the previous save. I hope dying to every new enemy I come across doesn't become a habit or something. Leaving the vents, we find a rather grisly scene. There's bloodstains on the walls of this room, a lone clone trooper helmet on the floor. We walk up to a window, one that's meant to be used to observe the large room ahead. Sev is down there. There's no doubt he'll be reunited with us in a minute, goddammit. Things have gone to shit real fast, and as of now, 2 of your squad mates are either captured or killed, and we're next. The same lizard people, called Trandoshans, burst into the room and charge us with knives, a drone coming out of the vent behind us in order to pincer us. We fight them off and move into the vent, all while trying and failing to reach the only member of our squad not still captured. Eventually, after coming across the lizard executing a clone with a shotgun, I decide that I need me one of them so I can Doomslayer my way through the ship. Just don't step on a mine that's very clearly not meant to be stepped on. That would be stupid, especially if there's audio that tells you there are mines. Okay, now it's time to properly Doomslayer my way into... God damn it. Okay, now I'm going to Doomslayer my way through this. Unsure if our squad is even still alive, we send out a rendezvous point just in case Fixer might have evaded capture, and fortunately for us, he has. For the second mission, we start by moving towards this rendezvous point and meeting up with the Commando. It says in the mission description that this is the most difficult hour for the team, but honestly I disagree. Maybe it's just because of the way the gameplay presents itself, but after the first 10 minutes or so, my confidence has all but returned, seeing as both the new enemy types were rather easy to fight. We continue to fight through hordes of enemies to the rendezvous point. This is where I'm going to briefly explain how grenades actually work in this game, because at this point I was using all 4 types. To start, there's basic thermal detonators, your standard grenades similar to frags, EC grenades, which are EMPs, proximity grenades that also explode on enemy contact if thrown directly at them, which is like claymores mixed with sticky grenades. Cool, I guess. And sonic grenades, which are just flashbangs. No, I'm not going to make a COD 4 reference this time. Back to Delta's totally desperate and not very easy fight for survival. I find Sev being dragged away unconscious by what is Star Wars equivalent of a juggernaut. Killing the others in the area and chasing the lizard, I encounter an attempted ambush. I say attempted, but I was ready for them, so these idiots had nothing. While I'm mindlessly blasting fools down a gray corridor of this ship, I want to take a moment just to say I appreciate the music a lot. It's definitely stuff that could be heard within like the movies while feeling unique enough to the game. Especially that main theme. I mean, just listen to it. It is masterful. We come across that Juggernaut, and similar to its appearance in Modern Warfare 2, it carries a heavy machine gun that honestly looks like something out of Fallout. It also looks like something that can shred you to pieces. Wonder how I found that out. Ah, my backup has arrived! It's good to see you, Fixer. Now that we're both reunited, I turn my new toy on two lizards as we start looking for Delta 07, clearing room after room, not realizing until writing this, and recording this for that matter, that some of these rooms are copy and pasted. Kinda similar to Halo CE with AOTCR and keys. I don't usually care about repeating rooms because the gameplay's so much fun, but I'm still willing to bet some goof complained about it when the game actually came out. Similar to earlier, when we look through a window, we find Sev being beat up. Damn, I should really call up Spooky Deer to declare this a war crime, alongside that execution from earlier. Breaching the door to the room and rescuing our pod brother, another Juggernaut comes out to fight, this time being killed by the same weapon his brother was carrying earlier. We're told by Sev that not only were the lizards trying to get the ship's op data from him, but that Scorch is also being currently held in the detention block. Our next area of interest now that our two-man army became a three-man army. Coming across more separatists in the detention block all but confirms that the mercenaries and slavers have allied with them. I'm going to take a wild guess and assume that this is like a transaction of some kind. Either they're both exchanging like money for troops, or it's troops for droids. Like, one of them goes to fight and they're like, hey, you'll back me up if we back you up in a different fight. You know what I mean? Anyways, breaching into the detention block, Scorch is found similarly beaten up, but still able to get up and fight. Our squad being fully reunited, now all that was left to do was take out the radio jammer and re-establish contact with command. Tons of droids, super droids, and Trandoshan mercenaries alike guard the jammer, but they're all dispatched rather easily now that the squad is together. Just don't look at my death count. Please.
Damn.
Radioing command, we were given what is probably the worst news since hearing that a full Covenant fleet had shown up to Reach. The Separatist forces had also sent their fleet to not only kill us, but to take the shuttle we're on, which meant unless we activated some heavy defenses, all four of us were getting sent back to the lobby. Finding the first hangar, we decide since fighting a whole fleet probably isn't a good idea, even for commandos, that the best move is to destabilize the energy shield so when reinforcements attempt to enter, their shit will be destroyed. While we are elite soldiers, we're still at a disadvantage thanks to the droids already beginning the raid on the ship. So, in order to destabilize each hangar shield, we'd first need to clear out some of the resistance, mainly these weird battle droid spawners that operate like something out of a Minecraft world. This first hangar was also definitely the hardest for me because you have to destroy the whole ship using rocket turrets, which meant basically clearing out the entire place. Clearing out the next two were a lot easier since I didn't need to clear out everyone immediately. I just rushed in with the squad, got rid of the possibility of reinforcements, and then I'd take my time killing everything. In the last hangar, we were blessed with an anti-personnel vehicle of our own, thank God, because I really needed the help. Just as we clean up the place of clankers, we're told to urgently make our way to the control center and activate our guns, giving the Republic a chance to destroy the main ship in the fleet. This part was brutal. Not because it was actually challenging, but because I initially thought, hey, I should just let my squad kill everything while I use the computers. That's not the strategy at all. What I should have done is just order all of them to use the computers, and then one of them will fight them off, because they infinitely respawn. Activating the guns, we watch the ship go up in flames. A job well done and a ship saved, we leave the prosecutor to start the last campaign. So when writing the script, I found out that Kash Patel's full name is Kashyap because I was looking up how to spell Kashyyyk, and I wrote down in my script, no wonder why he's a paranoid alcoholic. I'm sorry. Kashyyyk is the final planet we go to on this galactic romp, and in my personal opinion it's the best, while also being the worst. Unlike in both previous areas, you have actual backup the entire time, and also helping out the Wookiee resistance is really cool. Especially once you get a good look at these guys and realize they're twice the size of you. Jesus Christ.
Our first objective here is to infiltrate a prisoner camp and locate a tribe leader named Tarful. Currently being held by Trandoshan mercenaries, we have to rescue him because he's helping coordinate his fighters against the lizards. Entering into the Star Wars equivalent of Vietnam, we creep through the night, covertly taking out targets for about 5 seconds, because upon reaching the camp entrance, we're spotted, ambushed, and I was killed multiple times. I swear, this wasn't my fault. I just could not get a good angle on them, and they, like, juiced the fuck out of the AI. They would melt your shields in, like, 2 seconds. I don't think I had a tougher section before this, so I was not ready. Luckily for me, though, even after I'd gotten through, I'd still screwed up and lost nearly all my health, making the next firefight just as much of a nightmare, if not more so. Dying 2 times, cussing out this 21-year-old game, and letting my squad take care of the enemies while I laid down somewhat allowed a safe passage, where I totally didn't continue the cycle of dying, and it definitely wasn't my fault at all. No sir, that would never happen, obviously. Okay, once I'm done making a fool of myself, the door to the detention block is breached, a juggernaut guarding the room. There is a Wookiee in here, but it's not Tarful. An ally's an ally though, so he breaks the wall for us. Freeing another Wookiee turns out to be a good idea, as he then pushes some debris aside, allowing us to the door. We were told by both of them that Tarful was just taken a few minutes prior, either to hold him hostage or to execute him. I wasn't sure, but neither were good options.
Come along and we'll mop them up.
What if I just... That was stupid. That was so stupid. Oh my god.
Man, I should really stop dying in stupid ways. It's just not efficient at all. Command decides to intervene with current orders and locate none other than General Grievous. Apparently he's in the area, and given the chance, we are to take him out. Now, I respect the chain of command and all that, but if freaking Kenobi could barely beat him, how are we supposed to, being a bunch of clones? I mean, I know it doesn't matter because he got away anyway, but knowing how powerful he is, I do not understand for the life of me why Command would sacrifice their most elite squad just for him. Even though he gets away, one of his guards stays behind, and holy shit, this guy is so stupidly tough. Nobody's shocked by this, but literally every time a new enemy or enemy type is introduced, it kicks my shins in while I curse at my monitor, wondering whether it's actually my fault or if it's 2005 jank AI. Definitely jank in this case. I don't think it's actually my fault. This is not just a matter of, like, the guard being tough, but Tarful kept going up to him and trying to fight him hand to hand. And, like, I understand you're not supposed to disagree with a Wookiee because it doesn't end good. But, brother, you're gonna die. Like, don't just walk up to him.
God damn it!
Tarful's down.
Scanning 0 life sign.
What do I do?
Got an enemy droid
I'm
visual.
fucking screwed.
In position.
One game of Dark Souls later, the damn thing is destroyed, and that's the end of the first mission. For the next mission, I was in a Discord call with my buddy, shoutouts to APG, talking about Tomodachi Life. As of recording, it came out in mid-April, so about a month and a half, but I wrote the script in mid-May, early May, so it was about a month after the game had come out. And not gonna lie, it's one of the best Nintendo games I've played in recent time. Oh, shit, right. Republic Commando. Yeah, this mission's boring. Literally, all you do is take out a landing pad for extract, and that's it. Nothing to say on this level. Now that we've done some good work on the ground, it's time for the final battle that takes place during these next 4 missions. Thank God, because these first 2, I was not feeling them. But now, we're getting into the good shit. First thing we need to do is make our way to a bridge, secure it, and then blow it up, as the Separatists need to cross it to get to things like government buildings. As we move out of the first area, Wookiees are barricading multiple pathways to stop the enemy from getting in. They find other ways in and are killed quickly, Delta moving as fast as they can. It's very clear how desperate this fight is, how much it matters to us, the Republic, and the Wookiees. Something else I was constantly questioning, and this is like a little bit of a side rant, so a lot more recently, since I've been working on a little series of my own, based on the video game Unturned, and I know this is like a side rant, but let me just explain. Ever since I started work on that and I started creating like a story for it, Like, I started, when I'm playing a lot of these games, like, especially games where they focus on war, even as black and white as a lot of the Star Wars universe is, I was still constantly thinking about, like, long-term effects. How is, like, the Wookiee civilization going to recover from this? How long will it take? Will they have to rebuild everything? What are the long-term ramifications for it? And I think the fact that a game was able to make me think these things tells me that the story is compelling, and I am very glad that they wrote it the way they did. Alright, making it to the bridge, there are just a ton of enemies. They really wanted to show off the scale of the war. We take over the anti-personnel tanks, turn them on the super droids, plant charges to destroy the pods dispensing them, and after the area is clear, we then attempt to blow up the bridge, only for our charge to malfunction. This is the only time in the game it happens, and it honestly caught me off guard. Thinking quickly, we instead scoop up a rocket launcher and use that to blow up some fuel lines, blowing up the entire thing. Now that the bridge is no longer a concern, Delta's told the link back up with Tarful. We are to escort him to the war room alongside any resistance forces he's got left. Once he's located, we start heading for the hangar that his soldiers are in, destroying more droid dispensers along the way. Once at the hangar, we find munitions crates and secure them, then move into a second hangar to do the same. During this, the Geonosians decide, hey, we want in on the murderers' fun, so in come the bugs and their elite counterparts. No problem for me though, thanks to my insane sniping skills. We finally make it to the rendezvous point, and just like before, it's a grisly scene. Every soldier is dead, their corpses litter the ground. Just as Delta starts discussing the bodies though, Command reaches through panicked. More of Grievous's guards are on the way, and two of them jump out from the shadows. Fighting one of these is bad enough, so adding a friend certainly didn't help things for me. I ran my assault rifle dry, switched over to my pistol for a bit, and then remembered, hey, I have a grenade launcher, why am I not using that? So, I pull it out, blow the damn things into nothing. We escort Tarful to the war room. Now that that's done, we need to make our way up to the Citadel and get defense generators running. On our way up to the Citadel, somehow the Separatists were able to fit a whole ass spider droid on this tree, despite the small amount of room. I don't know how they did it, but hey, respect to them, I guess. Setting aside our disbelief, I grab more grenades and destroy the thing. If we want any chance of winning, we need to be fast. Breaking into the next hangar, we fight to help the Wookiees escape, seeing as this place has become a war zone. It's not safe for anyone besides soldiers. Hey, the Trandoshan mercenaries haven't been fighting us for around 2 seconds, so here's a bunch of them alongside some more juggernauts. Excuse me for a moment. After crying to myself through the garden and finding the first generator, I'm then given even worse news. The Geonosian elites have come back. Sobbing through that as the generator's powering up, I pray that I don't have to fight them at both generators. I have to fight them at both generators. On top of this, by the second generator, I drained all of my sniper ammo, my rifle ammo, my heavy ACP repeater ammo, and only had my pistol. So unless I got ammo in the next room, I was screwed. I grabbed some Bacta from the healing machines thinking, hey, it might be useful. Think again, most of it's drained thanks to the super droid, damn it. At least I find rifle ammo, so I'm not completely screwed, and with this ammo, I bravely struggle through the entirety of the room since it's all super droids. Making our way into yet another hangar, the sun breaks out over the horizon. It's now morning. While we are ambushed by more of the General's guards, there's multiple turrets that deal a huge amount of damage to them, making this fight far easier than the ones prior. Moving on from the hangar, Command gives us the location of an elevator we can take to get up to the Citadel. We get onto it, thus starting final mission. All that was left to do for each of us was to mount AA turrets across the tree and fire upon a cruiser all at once. We fight spider droids and guards in the first room, Sev taking the first gun. We fight Geonosians in the second room, dropping Fixer off at the second. Me and Scorch take on one final spider droid before he takes the third gun, leaving me by myself. I killed dozens of bugs and their infants before getting on the last gun, blasting away, desperate to destroy the shields before the Air Force drops in. We fire until the shield is down, the Republic swoops in, puts an end to the battle. Everyone's told to rendezvous with me for extract. All of them make it, besides one.
Boss, I've got a problem here.
Civ, where are you?
Multiple hostiles. Lost his signal, boss.
We'll find it again, damn it. Squad, regroup. We're going after Civ.
Negative, 3-8. New orders came through from the Jedi Generals. Clear the area. Evac now.
I don't care if they came from Master Yoda himself.
As a matter of fact, they did, soldier. Now get your squad out of there. Blast our orders. 40? He's right, boss. We gotta evac. Sir, we have to go back.
Sav gave his life so we could get out, and despite protests from both us and Scorch, we have to leave. The command to exfil was given by none other than Yoda himself. The truth of this operation is revealed.
Delta Lead, get your men under control. One commando is not worth risking an entire operation. One commando? He's talking about my pod brother.
Hold on, advisor. What do you mean, an entire operation?
Your team was the advance force for a full-scale Republic invasion. I had strict orders not to tell you. It was your reconnaissance, your intel that verified the operation. And now the invasion has begun.
Republic assault ship on Vector 6. Hostiles to starboard, ready gun. Firing solution in 2 seconds. Watch it, Bravo Leader, they're on your tail. Twin starfighters, incoming at 0 Mark 27. Look out!
Boss, look! It's the invasion force. Taking the city was only the beginning. I've never seen so many ships before. Yes, sir. Yes, I'll patch you through right away. Listen up, Deltas.
All Republic forces, establish forward command in Kajiro.
Is that really who I think it is?
Rendezvous with Delta Squad, we must. Upon them, we rest much hope. Wookiee freedom must not be sacrificed.
Delta's told to lock and load their weapons, and the credits for Republic Commando roll. If you like this video, go watch my Sapphire with Friends video and my Unturned video, and as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.